Welcome back to the Triple F Podcast. This is episode number 80. 80.
Watch our sketches.
Watch our sketches. First things first, watch our sketches. Join the Patreon, dude. We have an extra episode every week. If you like this, dude, go over there. It's Triple F Podcast.
There's the link to our sketches on Good Girl Studios, and our Patreon will be in the
YouTube bio
description down below. Do that. Also in November 15th and 16th, we'll be in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, respectively. I believe we are in Tulsa the 15th and Oklahoma City the 16th. But that'll all be that's in my link tree. You can find that.
Yeah.
So if you're in Oklahoma and you want to come to a show, let us know.
Yeah, buy these tickets, guys. All right. There we go. We've plugged ourselves.
Welcome.
Have you ever plugged yourself?
I've plugged myself many times, yeah.
I haven't. It's weird to me.
Putting stuff in your butt?
Yeah, I like things coming out.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think that it's like, I don't think putting,
Sometimes pooping feels good.
Of course, yeah. See, so you kind of get it.
I kind of get it. I get half of it.
Here's the deal. I don't think that putting something in your butt is like the key that unlocks like gayness. What are we spoiling people's bits here? Yeah, no, it's good. You should try it. It's fun. But if you don't, it's fine.
Yeah, go for it.
I remember when we first started doing this podcast, you guys one time were doing the come and go bit, and it genuinely, like 10 episodes in, it made me so mad. I'm like, they're ruining my bits. And it's like, dude, who cares?
Yeah.
I was like, people are going to know my jokes that listen to the podcast. It's like, yeah, dude, that's almost cooler than it's cool if they know them.
Bro, so I talked about the plane crash gender reveal, right?
Huh?
We talked about it. Do you know this?
Have you seen this video?
Uh-uh.
Yo, okay. So Josh and I both have jokes that we've done on stage about it, which is funny. But there's a video on TikTok of a gender reveal. It's happening in Mexico. And there's a little like prop plane flying over and dropping the color of what the baby is, and then they drop black. And then so it flies overhead. It drops either, I don't remember.
Pink.
It drops pink.
Because you go, the video can't get worse.
Everybody starts freaking out, and then the plane, like the wing snaps, and the plane spirals and crashes. And most of the people in the video don't notice, so they're just
the pilot a woman too.
Yeah, apparently. And my thought initially was like, that's crazy. And then you have to think about like what that plane is. That plane gets hired to do gender reveal parties in Mexico. So it's got to be the most used plane to ever exist. It's like, of course the wing snapped. It's doing 20 gender reveal parties an hour. It probably just had another one to go to after that. Tried to hit the turn too sharp. But I saw one today. I mean, Mexicans are just getting crazy with their gender reveals. They're literally like, this is funny. Like, if I just riffed this idea, it would be crazy. But they're literally standing like on a lawnmower. Like, you know the like John Deeres that are huge, but you still stand and you have
Juan
the, like,
Deere?
Yeah, the Juan Deeres. They're standing on that, and then they turn it on, and then when the blade starts, it like blows out like
that's
blue
crazy.
Or pink. It's just like,
it's like you're playing into it too much, dude.
Are you trying to catch me being racist right now, dude?
Nice try, Mexico.
Yeah, nice try, Mexicans.
That'd be like if I did a gender reveal party and I just did my taxes.
The next one that they're gonna do is they're gonna fill up.
Didn't make any sense.
They're gonna fill up like blue or pink powder in a balloon and throw it over a border wall.
Yeah, or what they'll do is they'll like
Paint a
package it up. They'll package it up in like kilos, and then they'll cut it. They'll have to cut it open like they're about to test it, and then it'll be blue, and they'll be like, oh. So yeah.
Or you get to pop the balloon and
fentanyl?
see what gender it is, but first you have to free it from a cage.
Didn't like that one.
Didn't like that one at all.
Free
Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been happening, dude.
It's been a thing for so long.
It's been a thing for a really long time.
Makes me sad, dude.
Yeah,
It really killed my energy, my momentum, knowing that that's still happening.
Yeah.
You ever think about how many issues are going on right now that just don't affect you personally, so you don't even think about it? Like, imagine if you were the one in captivity.
Can I break down what you just asked me? Do you ever think about the issues that you don't think about? That was the question.
Brother,
you
this
just
is
asked.
not. This isn't the triple F, and the F stands for freaking
Bother me with your
super
weird
good.
questions.
This isn't the freaking
Triple F podcast. The F stands for phenomenal.
phenomenal thinking foys.
No, but I do
Thinking
know what
boy.
you're saying, and
There's so many things that
I
you don't even
really
know about that are like bad. Aren't nightmares scary?
God, you're a fucking genius, Josh.
I took pre-workout today.
There's
I did
so
to wake
many-
Me up.
You took. This is like actually a problem because you didn't work out.
No.
You took pre-workout, and it's funny because you like won't drink coffee.
Yeah.
You realize you just had like probably 3 of what I'm drinking right now.
I'll tell you what. My heart's still racing pretty heavy.
Do you like the feeling it gives you?
Gives me tinglies.
This is like low
It's a drug.
It's dude. You wake up and do drug like it's
Well,
a
I woke
drug.
up and I was gonna go to the gym, and then Ariel took the car, and then I was stuck there, abandoned there. I woke
fighting with the sprinkler guy.
Up, yeah, fighting with the dude. Okay.
What a real piece of shit.
Dude, our the sprinkler guy comes to our house, and I'm the only one home. And my girlfriend's mom paid, she hired some guy to come and redo our sprinklers. This guy comes and knocks on our door, and it's like 8:30, and he's covered head to toe in mud. And then I answer the door, and he was like, "Hey, I just finished. I need. It'll be 7:50." And I was like, "Okay, I'll let Emmy know." And then he was like, "Well, I need my money now." And I was like, "Dude, I'm
It's
shirtless.
my money and I need it
I'm
now."
shirtless. Yeah.
What was this guy working for JG Wentworth Sprinklers?
JG Wentworth,
877 cash now.
877 water now.
That's what you should have
That
told
would've
him. You
been-
should have said you
This
should
ain't
call
JG.
877 cash now. This isn't JG Wentworth, and he's just
You
like,
just confused the sprinkler guy. Like, what do I look
What a
like? JG
JG
Wentworth? And then
Went-
you shut the door, and he's like, what
More
the
like
fuck just
JG
happened?
Wentworth.
and he's like, I need to pay my alimony.
What are you, what are you, JG Wetworks?
Yeah,
But yeah, he's just like, I need $750, and I was like, I'm not.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I was like,
brother, I don't think you understand the living situation that you walked into. I am living with my girlfriend in
And
her mom's house. I don't have 750 cash on me right now.
and
To
if I
hand
did,
to
guess
you.
who I would not be giving it to? So then it was just awkward because he was like, well, I need my money, and I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And then he just sat at my door for like 10 seconds, and I was like, all right. And then I just like slowly shut the door, and I was like, she'll contact you, dude. I promise you're gonna get your money. I'm not just gonna be like, it would be funny to just have him to redo the sprinkler because like it's such a thing.
People do that.
But then he can just come and undo this. Well, yeah, but then that's probably have you seen that video of there's a video of
I thought you were going to say chiropractor.
I thought you
Yeah,
were
the
too.
chiropractor.
Where he
Just unfucks your back.
somebody, and it's like, oh man, I feel great, and it's like, I'm not gonna pay you though, and he just stabs you in the back.
He
He's just like,
snaps
yeah,
your neck.
good luck getting that undone.
There was a video of a contractor who didn't get paid, and he redid somebody's bathroom,
and he
then
starts
just
smashing the
smoke-
tiles. Yeah.
which is
I've
cool.
seen that.
I like that.
I
video.
understand. I get that. My dad has been a general contractor for a while. He's not anymore, but he was, and he's had people do that. Like he's had like doctors, like people who make like a lot of money that just kind of go, it didn't end up exactly how I wanted it. I'm not going to pay you. And it's like, I checked in with you like every step along the way, and they're just like, no. And so you like take them to court. It's like a whole thing.
Do you have to do installments then? Like, hey, this is like the first trimester of pay.
We had a $5,000 job at my place a year ago, and we gave the first half up front, and then the guy just proceeded to fuck his second half up the entire time.
What do you
'Cause
mean?
He just like
didn't
he
do
just
his
kept
job.
fucking things out. Like he shorted out my computer, and I had to replace my power supply because he just like tripped the electric breakers, and I was like, cool, my computer was on, and I don't have a fucking whatever, like a surge protector, so my power supply blew. That's $100. And he was like, all right, we'll just knock it off the price. And then he tripped the water line, which broke our dishwasher and our fridge. So he fixed the fridge, and then, or we called a guy to fix the fridge. He paid for that out of the second half deposit. He replaced our dishwasher. That came out of his second half deposit. He was supposed to create a vent because he was putting a dryer in our storage unit outside. He was supposed to create a vent for the dryer to vent out. He like knocked half the wall off, so we had to get somebody to fix that. Like by the end of it was a $5,000 job. He made probably $3,000 just because he kept just being like, yeah, I'll replace that. Just take it out of the total at the end. And it's like, yeah, now you make no money, dude.
Prius into the car.
Yeah, it is funny though, like who we hire to fix our house, because it's like, bro, like it's not smart people.
No.
I've worked for people like my dad is an intelligent guy. I'll give him that. But like I've worked with the people who work for him. Guys, they're all on Percocet, by the way.
Oh yeah.
All of them are
Construction.
smoking weed and drinking and doing all this shit. But like I worked with my boy for a while, like when I first quit working at my treatment center job to like have more time to do comedy. And like I love this guy to death. He's dumb as a bag of fucking rocks. He just knows how to hang drywall. You know what I mean? And so like he's in your house charging you thousands of dollars, and sometimes he's Googling how to do it.
Well, I think a lot of people are doing that just in general.
Yeah.
Like well, this might just be indicative of the military's healthcare system, but I went one time for I had post-nasal really bad in my throat when I was in the military.
Too much cocaine.
Yeah, too much coke.
The military runs on cocaine.
Yeah, you can't get drug tested for that. And
yeah, okay. You can.
I mean, it doesn't stay in your system long enough.
Nah, like a couple days.
Yeah,
maybe.
you're fine. Unless you get caught on but anyways. But yeah, dude, I one time I kept getting like a sore throat, and I could feel my snot running. I was like, I just need something for allergies. And the lady was like, my doctor was like, I don't know, we'll like, give me a second here. And then she went to the next door, and then she went and was talking to the nurse. I could hear thin walls. She was talking about how she was Googling it. She was like, go ahead and like try to, because it sounds like allergies. Type that into Google and see what pops up. And I heard the conversation. She literally was like,
funny.
type that into Google, see what pops up. I think it's either allergies or I think it's and indicative of bronchitis. And so it was like,
but it's also a thing where it's like, well, dude, have you ever thought about like the plethora of knowledge that a doctor has to have in their head to be like, oh, your throat hurts, you have bronchitis? Like, it is kind of fucking crazy. But I do think most people are just winging whatever they're doing.
Everybody wings everything, dude.
For the most part.
Because think about like what we do. Like we'll have like riffs, and a riff is essentially us Googling things. If you think about like what we're doing.
A lot of this podcast is me Googling stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Most of it is.
Dude.
We'll do like a 10-minute riff on Adam Sandler movies, and I'll have to Google Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
That's how little I know about stuff.
Jeff seems super into this, by the way.
Are you okay? Do you make a call? Go. It's okay.
Well, go ahead and call him.
It seems serious.
Yeah. He didn't. He put the phone down pretty angrily.
Yeah, I could tell that he was upset, and
I'm
we
thinking
don't.
about getting a haircut.
We don't like. What are you gonna do?
Probably just another fade.
Okay.
Probably the same thing I always
Dude,
do.
it's crazy. Like we were just having like a really normal podcast for like a couple minutes while Jeff was dealing with his stuff, but as soon as his presence actually exited, you were just like, I'm gonna say the most uninteresting thing that I can say.
Hey, I think I'm going to do the thing I always do.
I've been thinking about getting something done that I do every 1 to 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might start doing it. I should learn to, we should, you know what we should do?
What?
Learn to fade each other's hair.
Absolutely not. I'm going to go to a barber.
I used to cut people's hair in the military.
I will never, and I couldn't say this more emphatically, ever let you cut my hair.
Dude, that's fucked up. I'm fine.
You're literally not a barber.
I could I bet I could give you a fade and it would be fine.
We were actually just having a conversation about how people do shit that they absolutely shouldn't be doing, and then you're like, I can cut hair.
I can cut your hair.
As if you can cut my hair.
I can do it fine.
I believe that you can cut my hair. I think
fade's not super hard.
I think that you severely underestimate how good a barber is compared to you.
Of course. Of course he's better.
So why if I only get a haircut but listen, I understand it's free, but like, dude, a haircut's like $30. I get
it's a bonding
once
experience,
every 2
dude.
months. No,
We bond.
Nah, we don't bond. I'd be furious with you afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a bond, and then we'd get into a fight. And
you and I already do that enough.
Yeah, we
bro.
do fight a lot.
What did we fight about this weekend? It was pretty intense.
Oh well, we can't repeat it on the podcast. Mic's off. We can't talk about
Yeah.
that. You guys might not like me after
We
that
should
one.
not have. We should not have that conversation on this one, especially since it's not the Patreon.
Yeah, it's not the Patreon. If you go to the Patreon, patreon.com/triplef-pod, you can probably hear that conversation. But
No, you will not
no, you
hear that
won't
conversation
hear that one. That one
anywhere.
was pretty
You would have to
problematic.
befriend me and Josh, and then
get me drunk.
gain Josh's trust. Hope that you're there one of the days out of the month that he decides to drink, and then bring up a pretty hot topic and hope that he's had enough margaritas and or vodka lemonades to really just kind of let it
I have been
fly.
off the margs and the vodka lemonades.
You've been
lately.
off your shit lately. You've been
Yeah.
off the shits, dog.
I tell you what, I
Like,
do
big
not feel
time.
my tummy does not. I've been eating. I ate right for the
Yeah, it's
past
bad
2
for you.
days in a row, and I was like, oh yeah, this is what I should be feeling like.
Yeah.
I also drank a gallon of water after drinking, and I've never felt better.
Yeah.
Like it was immediate. It was immediately like, oh yeah,
Yeah, you're doing healthy stuff.
yeah, your body's supposed to. Well, I did unhealthy things to then do a healthy thing. It's like I haven't drank a gallon of water in so long that when I finally did it, it was crazy. I was like, oh yeah.
I drink a lot of water. What I do is I start my day with cold brew. I dehydrate myself immediately. And then I spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. And then most of the evening peeing like every 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And being really annoyed by it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they like when you like to be healthy and drink a gallon of water a day. That just means that you don't sleep throughout the night. You're just peeing
dude.
every 20 minutes.
If you're well hydrated, you're going to pee all night.
Jesus Christ.
You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You just get fired?
No.
Jeff got fired again.
I run like a business that's like all like it's all e-commerce, and like we sell like diving suits and shit. And somebody emailed us yesterday and was like, "Hey, your office hours state from 9 to 4." And then I never responded, and then they just showed up and they're like, "Hey, I want to buy stuff." I'm like, "Well, I'm not there." And they're like, "Well, we took off work to be here." And I was like, "You can't." Also, we're not a fucking retail store. We're
Yeah.
not like somewhere, like we don't have a cash register. Like I can ring somebody up. I've done it in person, but like you can't just stop by. Like my hours are malleable. I can do whatever I want at any time. It was just like
it's fucking America, dude. You
The
can do whatever
fucking
the fuck
audacity of these people to show up to a business to give you guys their money is fucking unreal.
it is unreal because it's not a store.
These pieces of shit want to show up and buy stuff from your fucking
You show like
business,
you
man.
literally showed up to like a fucking warehouse and you're like, "I'm here to shop." It's like that's not what we do.
Yeah.
You're at a warehouse. We
Men's
don't have-
Warehouse.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Do you have to go to Men's Warehouse if you're a big boy? Is it like a big and tall store, or is it just a normal?
They have stuff for my size. I'm not that big. I mean, I'm big, but I'm not so
But
big. that like
is Men's Warehouse a big and tall type thing?
Men's Warehouse is just like a normal.
I've
like,
never been to one.
Men's Warehouse is just like a normal lower end place to get like a suit. And
Men's Warehouse
shit.
sucks. I had to rent a suit for my buddy's wedding.
Yeah.
And it was like I looked like fucking Tracy McGrady getting drafted. It was insane.
super niche autistic
exactly
moment.
what
I know exactly what you're talking about. Dude, the
Hilarious.
90s, the way that those guys wore suits was crazy.
Yeah, the way that
It's
like
fucking
professional athletes were
insane.
wearing like
Do you
3 times.
Dude, it was nuts. Do you remember before they enforced a dress code in the NBA and like guys would like just dress like them franchise boys on the sidelines when they didn't have to play games? Like they would have huge tall tees and like forces and like
I remember
like
Allen
creased
Iverson.
Dickies. Yeah, literally I'm literally imagining Allen Iverson right now. And then they were like, "You guys got to dress better on the sidelines." And now every basketball player is like a fashion star.
Fashionista.
Dude,
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
like
the thing
it.
that I don't like. I don't like that. Like there's like they walk into like the arena like they're like on a runway.
I know you don't mean it this way, but this has very strong pull your pants up vibes.
No, it's not that. No,
I was
it's
thinking that
yo,
too.
no. Honestly, bro,
I don't like that these guys are all, you're there to be a dog.
No,
and you're showing
it's-
up all pretty.
It's. I would rather them have their pants sagging and be wearing Dickies like they used to, dude. That was better.
Yeah,
that was better.
now they wear, like,
And
dresses.
I'm also not thinking. I'm not. Just to save myself from that argument, I'm not. This is not a racially motivated point. I don't like fucking Christoph Porzingis showing up in Fendi either. It's like, what are we doing, dude? And some of these outfits are absolutely insane, bro. Like, there's no reason There's no reason that Sports Center should be posting like a 5-picture collage of Rajon Rondo walking with like a fucking Louis Vuitton scarf on.
Like Cam Newton
That's
with
crazy.
Cam Newton with the big feathered hat. That is pretty crazy.
That's
or
that's
Kirk
hilarious.
Cousins showing
That
up just in
fucking-
any outfit.
Yeah.
Fucking
He's
like
such a dork. I love
that
him.
Kyle Kuzma pink sweater. It looked like he was wearing a pink rug where the sleeves were dragging on the floor.
Yes, that's
The sleeves
crazy.
were twice as long as his arms are, and they're literally dragging the floor behind him. It's like, what the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah.
That's why, dude.
High fashion sucks.
This is so funny. I Googled Kyle Kuzma pink sweater, and the first thing that pops up is a GQ article that says Kyle Kuzma giant pink sweater is actually good.
No, it isn't.
What?
If you have to write that
Yo.
article,
Yeah, if that
no,
has
it
to be the
isn't.
title of your
Bro.
argument, dude, this thing is fucking crazy, dude.
How stupid
Look
is
at
that?
Let me see.
Dude, look at that thing.
That's absurd.
See, here's the thing.
That looks like a girl who just got fucked wearing her fucking boyfriend's
Bro,
sweatshirt.
yes. This is a take that I might have made on here before. I think that at a certain point, fashion is not actually like a real thing. Does this make sense? Like this. No one wears this. The only time you wear this is if you're on a runway or you're on like this version of a runway, which is what the walk-in for these guys has become for certain like levels of people is like, I'll wear this. You can't wear this anywhere else. How would you do anything?
I honestly believe that if like Gucci were to be like, hey, design like our next like runway line, I feel like I could do it. I feel like I would just do I'd be like, all right,
dude.
we're going to make a t-shirt and the shoulder pad, we're going to have like sequin shoulder pads and the left side of the t-shirt is going to be 3 times as long as the right side.
And they would be like, this is genius.
Yeah. And I would just be like, I'm
Well,
fucking around.
That's the thing. It's like, at what point is like fashion like no, if nobody can actually wear it in any setting aside from a runway or the Met Gala, what are we doing? What's it for?
Yeah.
So I do know the answer to that.
Art.
The answer is art.
Art.
The answer is
But here's the thing. You can be the most crazy, obscure, abstract artist. You can make weird sculptures. You can make crazy paintings. People can still put them in their house, right? Or you can put them in a museum for people to go see. I guess
So
which is the same thing as
the
a
idea-
runway.
the
But it's
idea
like
of
clothes
that-
are meant to wear. Art
Yes.
is meant to be viewed, but clothes are meant to wear. So at what point are you just doing something for no reason?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as a concept car. So you go to like a car show and Mercedes has some car that's like fucking insane.
But
that they could
eventually-
but no. But they can never actually sell that car. Like it doesn't even have rear view mirrors. It costs like $17 million just to manufacture. They're not selling that car. The idea is, look what happens when our best engineers have an unlimited budget. This is what they can
Look
produce.
what happens when capitalism wins.
Yeah.
We had $18 million to waste on this car for you to look at.
The fashion
I've-
person's like, look
but-
what happens when we fund schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like, it's
I've
basically-
never felt straighter than I do right now, by the way. Being like, fashion is for nobody. Wear fucking Carhartt and jeans.
I've been doing that.
I stand by it.
Fucking
Carhartt.
Sally's.
You don't own a piece of Carhartt, and you
I
the
own
one
Wrangler,
the one
which
that
is-
you the one that you do is too clean, man.
The rank, dude. Oh,
I'm bringing back the OG dude. I was telling somebody that story the other day of that guy talking shit on your
on my
Carhartt.
Facebook, dude.
On
Crazy.
your Facebook. The
That's
comment is still there.
Yeah, I know.
Probably the cleanest Carhartt I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Sorry.
Sorry, brother. Sorry
That's
that
so funny.
Sorry that I want to be warm in the winter.
It's a weird thing that's been happening with fashion. It's all becoming cyclical. Where like Champion is now cool, Carhartt
Yeah,
is
it's
now
the whole
not
thing
a blue
is you give
collar
it time.
thing.
You give it
And
time
then
and it'll come
yeah,
back.
what's the other big one that's Carhartt, Champion? I have it on
Is
the
it
tip of my
Reeboks?
tongue.
Starter jackets.
Starter is actually
Starter
a really
is big,
good one
yeah,
that's
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back. Reebok is truly
They have
cyclical.
They have some sick fucking windbreaker jackets. Like windbreaking.
They have some great windbreaking technology over at Reebok.
The windbreakers that they make are cool, like the ones that look like they're in the 90s, and their shoes are fire. I like Reeboks.
We fuck with Reeboks.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember when Reeboks had the pump? Well, we were too young
No,
for
I don't know
the
what that
OG
is.
pump, but then they re-released
Yeah.
the pump. You literally have a thing on the tongue that you pump, and it makes your shoe tighter.
No, that sounds crazy.
It's nuts.
What does that even do?
It makes the shoe tighter.
But like for what purpose?
for more secure balling.
Oh, so it's
For
supposed to be
more-
like tighter.
yeah.
Instead of tying
For-
your shoes really tight, you pump it up
for
and
more
it-
secure flexing on
You,
haters.
you like blow it. You blow it. Shoe. You're going up for a layup. It's like, oh, there's a blowout. His fucking shoe deflates.
Yeah, that would
Dude,
be
you remember
hilarious.
when Zion was blowing out sneakers at Duke?
Not really, but
There's
I
like
love
two
that.
separate clips of Zion Williamson, who's like maybe the most explosive athlete I've ever seen. He's like 280 pounds with like a 56-inch vertical. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But he's like, shoes just are not designed for that much of a freak athlete. So he literally
It's-
got injured by
it's-
he like went up for a dunk and his shoe just exploded.
It's crazy to be too athletic for shoes.
Dude, I might have told you about this guy already.
I'm not even too athletic for flip-flops.
Yeah.
There was
I've played in flip flops many times, and the flip flops are totally fine.
Yep.
There was a dude that I went to like a military school, like a military course, corporal's course I went to, and he was from Zimbabwe originally. And when we would do our fitness test, like our physical fitness test, he would run barefoot. Like, dude, he was doing like a 16:33 mile
That's so funny.
sprinting barefoot. It was crazy.
God,
it's like
there's
those.
there's
there's-
so many thoughts.
There's
that I
dude.
have.
Well, I can't imagine. I step on like a rock, I'm done for 5 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
You ever step on a rock when you like are outside and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm now imagine just like
Yeah, man, I've lived a
running.
life.
Yeah, dude. If I don't,
I was barefoot for like
if-
10 years. I was a
if I'm
feral kid.
barefoot outside and I'm not walking on like grass or like well done pavement, I'm over, dude. I'm doing the thing like I'm look like I'm walking on hot coals. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, what was that? A berry?
You know what?
Like, I
know-
can't do it. I have soft feet.
Have you seen the show Everything is Lava? Or no, sorry, the show The Floor is Lava?
No, but
On
I understand the
Netflix?
concept.
Yeah, I get it.
We're running out of fucking ideas.
Dude, you ever
as a society.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. What were you gonna say? Do I ever what?
you're just like
Dude,
Louis
did
boy.
you forget what you were gonna say?
Yeah.
Because you were like, "Do you ever?" And then when I was like, "Oh, what were you gonna say?" And he was like, "Do you ever?" Like, you ever
What about instead of Burger King, it was Burger Queen, and you have to be like, yes, Whopper, bitch.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What if
Dude,
it
I had
was
a
that?
Big Mac last night.
Ew.
Okay.
Dude, it was fucking delicious. Why'd you say ew?
I'm
Fuck
not.
you,
Dude.
dude.
I'm not a Big Mac guy.
Fuck you, dude.
I've never
Big
been.
Macs are good. I was never a McDonald's guy.
Yeah.
I'm never a big, and even when I do, I was more of like a nugget dude.
Mm-hmm.
But dude,
I'm an Egg McMuffin guy. I'm an
Well,
old
yeah,
man
of
in
course,
a McDonald's.
of course.
If I go to a McDonald's, I'm like, 2 Egg McMuffins, just the sandwich. I don't want a hash brown and black coffee. And I just sit
that
there.
is an old.
I
guy.
might as well bust out a newspaper
Yeah, that's
and
a guy
just be like,
who-
this country's going to hell.
That's
with
like
all
a
these
50-year-old elementary school basketball referee meal.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that's what it is, but does that make sense?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I know the
Okay,
guy.
I'm
you're
glad you
talking
guys
about. I
got
didn't even
that.
play basketball. I know what you're talking
You
about.
know who I'm talking
I know who you're
about.
talking
You know
about.
the fucking 50-year-old guys
Have
who
you-
referee elementary. It's so funny when I think back.
taught the fundamentals.
When I think back to how seriously referees took our games when we were younger, and then I was like, it's hilarious that I was 11.
Yeah.
It's
You learned how to not poop your pants like 6 years ago.
bro, it's legitimately like almost scary.
Well, they're
like when
teaching
you really
they
think
want
about
you to,
it.
They want you to be as good as you can be. Get used to the rules now.
No, but
Maybe I don't know. I'm just
it's
throwing
just
ideas
funny how serious. Not like the coaches and stuff that I understand, but it's like the referees who are getting paid $10 an hour.
out there. You see him starting to stretch. You're like, all right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they start
Let's calm down.
stretching. There's always the one that wants to hoop during timeouts.
Mhm.
He's like shooting around, like trying to be like,
Do a
"Hey,
shoot
what's up?"
around.
But it's
That's
like,
what he's there.
coach,
That's what he's
get
there for.
get back on your sideline. It's like, bro, I'm coaching 10-year-olds.
I
dog.
loved being an umpire for little league teams when I was
actually
like
thought
in
about
high
doing
school.
that for like a really long time. For
It's so fun, dude.
I like how you
get-
just switched your ideas so quickly. You're just like, who the fuck are these dudes doing this shit? And then you're like, I thought about doing it for a
no,
little
not
while.
now. I
First
actually
base
had the
coach
thought
was
the other
so
day.
sick, dude. I just sat there and I'd like bullshit with the first baseman. I was like,
Well, I feel like
If I'm a
being-
third base coach,
I
I
feel
don't even
like
care if the catcher has the ball.
get
Go,
out,
dude.
go.
I feel like being an umpire for baseball, especially if you're playing like first baseline, would be easier than being a basketball referee.
Yeah, dude.
Plus, if you're an
Not
umpire,
physically, but just knowing the rules. Like
you get to
most
make up
of
your
what
own
you're
calls.
doing is calling fair, foul, and safer out
Yeah,
at the
100%.
at the base.
but you get to make your own version of it. because every umpire has their own way of saying it. You can. They all. It's so weird how
I love a good punch out.
I
You know
like
what
the
I'm talking
short
about?
ones. I like when
Yeah.
guys are just like.
I like the.
They're kind of like samurais.
It's so weird that an umpire can't just be like, strike.
Just like an Iowa Little League baseball game with a Japanese umpire.
It is weird that they can't just be like ball 2. They have to be like ball.
I would love. I'd love to imagine the fucking like
He pulls his
the
things out.
middle-aged fucking white guys, the white parents of like their 10-year-olds at a Little League game who they get pretty amped up about Little League games.
Little
dude.
League games.
I remember like fights happening,
Yeah.
and then they're like middle of rural Iowa, and there's like a very Japanese umpire, and but he's great, but he's so good, and he's the best. You want him to call your games, so they're kind of like. He puts a little flair on the game that I'm not really sure I'm a fan of, but I mean, goddamn, does he keep his strike zone tight? You know, so we just let him have it.
It is.
He's got
it is funny that like, dude, it was crazy. I was like 14, umping games for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, dude.
Like it was just like they were
And
just.
then it's funny because like the parents and the kids like take everything so seriously.
You got your rally cap on?
Like, dude,
Rally, rally. The pitcher's name is Sally. Sally,
Wait.
Sally. There it is, dude.
fuck, dude, that hurt really bad. But like I played AAU basketball, and I remember being in a game that at the time was like super fucking intense, right? And the reality is, like, we were playing a team that we play all the time. They play real dirty. Like this fucking big kid would like inevitably try to elbow me in the face every fucking game. And, like, at one point did and, like, almost knocked me out. And we beat them, and we were talking that shit, my favorite thing to do. And then the parents are jawing at our parents. And, like, so what that does is there's, like, groups of parents. And when the shit talking starts, you can kind of see like a magnet. It draws out the trashiest of the parents, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like when you're cleaning something up, you know, with those like little magnetic pieces, and you kind of wave over, and it just sucks. It's like that, except for the white trash of this. This is what it was, right? And then they come out, and then like we're like arguing and talking shit, and like other adults are having to separate like our parents from other parents from like fist fighting at this like sports compound. And then I remember that I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
And that makes it all fucking hilarious to think that it's like we're arguing. We're like people could have gone to jail for assault over a 5th grade basketball game.
Dude, we had a team, Des Moines Hoover, that we would play, and walking to the bus, from the bus to the field and vice versa, there were people, and this is 9th grade JV football. Like, it was like not, and there was people booing us and like screaming at us.
That's
And it's like,
so funny.
and it's also like we were like, both teams were like 0-4. It's like,
Dude, have you seen this dude? Like, I see it on TikTok with like this new Pee Wee football trend for like parents to tackle their kids. Like they'll do like they'll do like basically Oklahoma drills, and they'll put like the mom and the son in pads, and like they do this for like 10, 11-year-old kids, and the moms, and these are sisters, big sisters, and they just lay their kids out, and all the other kids are like, "Let's go!"
It's
pretty
crazy.
sick. That's pretty awesome. I like it. I'm a big fan.
Did you guys play Pop Warner growing up?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember? Okay, so when we got our pads, my dad like fucked me up in the backyard. He was like, "You got to learn to take a hit," and like he would like I would catch a ball, my brother would throw me a ball, and my dad would just shoulder me. Like he was doing that shit in the backyard, being like, "Tough
Yeah,
up."
dude. What's more fun than laying your fucking kid
He
out?
wasn't like Oklahoma drilling me.
You come home from work. You've had a stressful day,
Yeah.
and your kid's like, "Dad, I got my pads today. I need to learn how to take a hit." And you're like,
And then
Here we go.
You remember that he broke the VCR last week too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this
And you remember that you haven't had sex with your wife for 4 months.
Yeah.
Fucking come here,
The
dude.
boss is being a bitch.
Dude.
The fucking wife is being a bitch. You can't watch your fucking TV shows because the DVR is broken because of this dumb motherfucker who now has full pads and thinks he can take a hit.
Hey, dude, I remember when I was
What a layup, dude.
Yeah,
what a layup.
That's God
What a soft release on child abuse, dude.
Yeah,
Just to be
dude.
like, all right.
Which now that we think about it, we're all just like, oh, our parents, they didn't believe in therapy. It's like, yeah, they could hit us.
Yeah, they could.
That's what
I
it
got
was.
spanked.
I did. I remember. So I broke my arm when I was in first grade.
On
And
9/11.
I got the cast off on 9/11.
Got the cast off
And
on it.
but I broke my arm in first grade, and then I played Pop Warner in second grade, and my elbow I had just done rehab on it. Like I was, physical rehab. You're fucking 8, I don't know, 9, however old you are. And I remember we were doing bear crawl. We were doing the bear crawl drill because we used to do the big 4. Do you know what the big 4? You remember the big 4 in football where you would sprint? You would sprint 100 yards, then you'd bear crawl 100 yards, then you'd crab walk 100 yards, like backwards.
100
yards. We would do the big 4. Boom, 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 boom. And then you would do that.
Boom.
And then, it would take like 20, 30 minutes. But we were doing that, but we were doing 25 yards because we were, 9 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And, but we did that. And then the last one, I think you buddy carried somebody, was like what we would do. And I was bear crawling, and my arm just gave out. I had just done physical therapy for it. And I remember my coach being like, "Quit being a fucking pussy." And I'm like, 9, dude. It's like,
Yeah, dude.
what? I can't even like bend my. And I was like, I broke my arm. And he's like, "Do you not want to play?" And then I was like,
Do you remember running the mile in PE class? Dude, running the mile
Sucked,
in PE
bro.
class sucked.
Fucking
We had to do it
sucked.
every Monday, and all the mile.
You had to do it once a week?
We had to do it once a week,
Dude, no,
And
I would have quit. I would have
hazing.
quit school.
Dude,
That's
I'd have-
hazing.
I would have dropped out.
All
of
the
middle-
mile
of-
ended up
of
being because
elementary
PE class was like over an hour long. It was a normal, class schedule. It was over an hour long, and all the mile was basically being really tired for 7.5, 8 minutes, and then getting really mad at the fat kid.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
you couldn't go back into the gym and play like 21 until everybody finished the mile. Trent Warner, you fat piece of shit. And we would all just sit in the bleachers and just wait for this motherfucker to finish. We'd be like, fucking stop walking. We want to play. Like, because I had to go to history class after
Dude,
that or whatever.
That's so
I wanted to
crazy.
play basketball. And our PE coach was like, maybe it'll motivate him if his friends all call him fat. And we would get mad at him because we wanted to play.
We ran the mile indoors. We would go.
Yeah.
It was
we
down
did
and back
outdoors.
down and back a hallway, like 43 times, and it's like, dude, what are we doing, dude?
That's hilarious because I was thinking because we would do it in this parking lot. Sometimes we would do it inside the gym, but we would do it in this parking lot. And I imagine what the PE teacher did is set the thing on her car and drove around the parking lot and figured out that it was 5.5 laps or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But to know how many times you have to go up and down the hall, somebody had to measure how long that hall
then do
was
math.
and then do math to find out.
There's no way you
That's
weren't
crazy.
cheating that
Oh,
either.
of course,
If I had to
dude.
do 43 up and down and there's a bunch of kids with me, there's no way I'm not like, I'm doing 38.
Yeah, I would
Bro,
just like keep
you know
up
how
with
many
like the front
times I
kids
would
and
just
stuff.
fucking skip a lap?
Of course.
Because I'm dude. Back in the day, I'm hardly a sub 10-minute mile guy. Now I don't
Really?
even want to know what it is. Yeah, dude, my body is not built for any sort
Yeah,
of long
distance,
distance
yeah.
running, dude.
Yeah, but this is like in 8th grade.
Yeah,
You have so much energy in 8th grade.
Yeah, but you are like able to run. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I didn't know how to run until I was in the military, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm good at this." But it was like such a weird. It's so weird to be good at running. Like not. I wasn't.
I
even, like,
think if
good,
I
good, it was
had
just,
to
like,
right now, I think I could run a sub 10-minute mile. I think I could probably run a sub
Definitely.
9-minute mile.
9
but-
is starting to get pretty close.
But that's
to,
that's where I cap it.
Yeah.
I think I could get in under 9 minutes if I like had to.
I think my best mile was like 6:45.
I think mine at some point was like in the 8s, like lower 8s, and that was whenever they would make us do it for like PE and shit like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
like
the trick that I learned in 8th grade, because we had to do that in 7th grade PE and 8th grade PE. The fucking trick that I learned is like, because we got graded on our mile.
Yeah.
that's so crazy.
In 7th grade, I ran as fast as I could the first time, and then he wants you. It was like, oh, I should start off and be like, 11 minutes. That's as good as I can do, and then you just get slightly faster every time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, whoa, look at you.
Look at who's
Look at you, you
improving.
get-
Yeah.
It's crazy to get
Don't run your
graded
best
on
one.
that.
Yeah.
Right? Like now, like if you think about like you get graded on how well you run a mile.
Dude,
What?
Wait till you find out. Have you ever heard? Have I ever told you about the military promotion system? The way you get a composite score is based off of your physical fitness test. So it's like almost like, I don't know the exact weight it holds, but it's something like 60% of what you get judged on is how fast your 3 mile is, how many sit-ups you can do in under 2 minutes, and the amount of pull-ups you can do. And that will dictate whether or not you're in charge of people.
That's kind of crazy too.
So you'll get like jacked dumbasses.
Yeah, I was about to say
Just like-
because
just-
if we can correlate one thing to another, I think you can draw a pretty big firm wall between how physically fit you are and how smart
Intelligent
you
could
are.
be. Yeah, dude.
I
There's
mean,
no
unfortunately.
correlation. You could be jacked and intelligent. You could be jacked and just dumb as hell.
I think there might be correlation between being really jacked and really dumb also though.
I don't think so.
I think
How jacked?
Here's what I think. I think that if we were to take a sample group of 10,000 guys at the gym where you go, damn, you know what I mean? Because there's really fit guys at the gym. There are people who are objectively jacked, but I'm talking about the guys where you're like, all right, dude, I see you got something going on. I would think.
What's the difference between these two people? I just want to get in my head what you're thinking.
The
of.
people
I'm
that
just
you
trying-
see and you go, holy shit.
You go, damn, that guy's
like
in
a
here
real big guy,
every fucking day. I'm talking about like a jacked guy.
like a jack.
Not like I'm trying to think of, we don't really know anybody who's jacked, but I'm trying to think
So like
of
somebody that's like in shape versus like a bodybuilder. Is that what you're trying to establish?
maybe one step short of like bodybuilder,
Okay.
but you know
I
what
know
I
what
mean.
I'm talking about. I know
Because
what you're
there's
talking
like
about
the really in shape guys who you
Yeah.
can tell are in the gym all the time,
Yes.
and then there are the guys where you're like, this is all you care about.
Yeah.
But then there's bodybuilder above that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
in the middle, right? Somebody who's a jacked guy. You take 10,000 of those guys, I guarantee you a majority of them are not super intelligent people.
I'm gonna push back on this so hard
Okay, push back.
because I think that in order to be like that,
Ronnie Coleman was an engineer.
Was he?
No.
Okay.
Definitely
But
not.
in order, I feel like in order to get to that level, you have to have things that are traits of successful people. You have to be disciplined. You can make the whole like steroids as a cheat
I'm not
code or
talking
whatever.
success. I'm talking intelligence.
Right, but I'm saying, but in order to do this, you have to have things that I think are characteristics of somebody who has intelligence.
I would argue a lot of the people that I know that are successful are kind of stupid, but they're very driven.
Yeah, so it's like I think that
yeah.
I think that it's like I think you have to be well, like this is the thing where how do you grade intelligence? Because it's like I don't know the first thing about if I wanted to train and physically like put on and create a regiment, I wouldn't know where to begin to actually like know fatigue levels and where I can start transitioning from 3x10 to 3x8 to then 4x5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to do that. But these
I don't even know
people
what you're talking about.
So it's like exactly. So it's like these are things that you'd have to know, but then you can also hire coaches. So then it kind of is the thing where it's like
this is just
there's a weird. I see what you're saying.
I totally realize that I'm possibly overgeneralizing like the whole meathead kind of culture, but like
I see what you're saying.
I just think most of you guys are dumb.
I see what you're saying,
That's
but I
it.
also think that
I don't know.
I think
I
it's hard.
just-
It's hard to do that. Though.
I don't think it's not hard. I don't think you don't have to have success. It's like some of the best athletes in the world are probably some of the dumbest fucking people that ever existed.
I get what you mean.
You know what I mean? Have you ever listened to Chad Ochocinco talk?
I think he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. You think he's fucking brilliant? You want to put him up head to head in an IQ test against any other guy?
no.
No,
I've never heard an
exactly.
interview with him actually.
He's
He's very
so
funny.
fucking funny. But you know,
He's just
no,
like,
but
time
he's
is of the essence.
he's
It's so good.
He's like he's like a freak athlete.
I
He's
have
one of
seen
the
the video
best
of him getting
receivers to ever play the
so
game.
I
fast.
have seen him get hit by Ray Lewis, which is really, or when he tries to
He
crack
tries
block.
to-
He
Ray
tries
Lewis.
to crack block Ray
he tries
Lewis.
to fucking
That's one of the best.
blindside him.
Ray Lewis is another great example. One of the best athletes to ever live. One of the best linebackers. Maybe one of probably
he is
maybe
the
one
best. I
of
think
the
he is
probably
the
the
best
best linebacker
Yeah.
to ever play in the NFL.
He's well spoken.
Do
He's very,
you think
Great at
that
getting
he's
away with murder.
intelligent?
dude? He did kill that guy.
Yeah, of
Dude,
course he
have
did.
you seen that
It's
video?
not-
Have you ever heard like the trial facts? Look it up. Ray
No.
Lewis. The facts about that trial are crazy. Like they couldn't find his white suit that he wore allegedly when he was stabbing the guy. Like it's somehow
Yeah.
disappeared. They never found it. Like there was like witnesses who just all of a sudden wouldn't all of a sudden wouldn't come forward. Like there was like a total drop of
A lot of people do that. A lot that happens. I think the only time we hear about murders are when they're high profile, hence like the Ray Lewis case. But like I think a lot of murders happen and people don't want to come forward, and without witnesses, you really can't. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like my ex fucking drug dealer I've talked about, like he like
That'd
shortly.
be a good name for a special.
What?
My ex.
My ex drug dealer.
Oh, isn't that Danny's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he went to jail for murder, and like when you read the article, it's like he like shot a guy in like the parking lot of like a nightclub on like a Saturday night at a time where like people
Everyone
would have
was
been
there.
there, and they arrested him and booked him, and then he got off.
Well,
And I think it's because people wouldn't come forward. You
yeah,
know,
that's scary.
like, yeah, that's scary. That guy is now out, like, you know, dropping mixtapes.
That's like the Well, do you know what the felony murder rule is? Where it's like if you agree to commit a felony, if you're coordinating with somebody else to commit a felony, it does not matter if you do that. If you do the crime, you get charged equally. So like if we were gonna rob a drug dealer, or rob somebody,
of course,
and you killed somebody, I would get murder.
Yeah,
I know a guy from my hometown who he was driving somebody when they were going to go buy ecstasy, but it was a felony quantity, and then the guy who he drove there got shot and got killed, and the dude did like 20 years he got sentenced to 20 years for like second-degree murder. That's so scary to just be like, I'm buying drugs with intent to sell, and now just driving the car, I'm doing 20 years in prison. No thanks.
My mom used to she would do this thing where she would clip out stuff out of the newspaper and like come leave it at my house. It would be like stuff like Mustang
Family
high school
Circus
girl
cartoons.
Dies of fentanyl. A little different than what you said.
bit sadder.
And stuff like that. And like it was
Snoopy.
like I remember one time it was a story like that. It was like a girl who like drove her friends to like get drugs, and then somebody died in the house, and then she ended up going to jail for murder. It's like crazy, bro.
I've told you about my cousin who's robbed a bank, right? I've said this story on this podcast. So crazy.
I had
dude.
an ex who robbed a bank.
You said what?
I had an ex who robbed a bank.
That's
ex-girlfriend.
so cool.
I also had an ex-girlfriend who was like same girlfriend who was like on Dr. Phil. I've told this, haven't I?
No.
Yeah,
what?
you have. You
One,
definitely
one
have. Surely
second.
you
I do
definitely
not
have.
know. I want to hear the bank. I want to hear. That's like
She with her
What?
ex.
I wanna know
She
this.
with her ex robbed a bank. It's not like Bonnie and Clyde shit.
But did they get away with it or no?
She ended up ratting on her ex and got off. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Got completely off.
Like federal charges. Yeah. And then she was on Dr. Phil because she was like heroin addicted prostitute who was pregnant, and her parents wanted her to like her mom wanted to send her to treatment, so you send her to Dr. Phil.
And you were like, "There's my baby.
Yeah.
There's my boo."
Well, I mean, I
bang."
met her when she was sober, so it was like she was like a normal person just with a past, which we're used to at this point. You know, I'm used to that.
oh, so
I
you
know-
dated her? No. Did you date her knowing she was on Dr. Phil, knowing that she was
Yeah.
a former bank robber?
What if it was
That's
Bad
pretty cool.
Baby?
That's pretty. That's
Well,
a
it
pretty-
wasn't because Bad Baby was 15 when she went on Dr. Phil, so
It is pretty.
It
Cool to
was
be like,
Bad Baby.
it wasn't.
It's pretty cool to be like, yeah, my girlfriend.
I know a
robbed
lot of
bank.
people with Dr. Phil episodes. Have we not ever
We
talked
have.
about this? I was about to
100% we
say, like,
I
Dr.
remember
Phil would,
having this conversation at
like,
your old place.
early on in the podcast, right?
Yes.
Dr. Phil would send people to the treatment center that I went to. So I know off top like half a dozen people who I could pull up their Dr. Phil episode right now, and I could be like, that's Brandon.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. It was a weird time in my life. But, you know, it's fun.
I don't know.
I also have a friend who robbed a bank like recently. I see him at the gym all the time. He's waiting to get sentenced. He's a psychopath.
He's just waiting to go to
Yeah,
prison.
and they just pushed back his sentencing date like another 3 months. So
That
he's
has to
just
be
like dude, that
terrifying.
you just have to be living in dread all the time.
Because that's like 15 years.
I don't
If
know.
not
I don't know
more.
what he's looking at. He turned down a deal to serve like 3 years or something like that. And so
Oh,
I
he
don't
might
know.
have. He might be able to beat it then.
He's
huh?
also a vet, and he also has a bunch of people giving him like character witness statements and stuff
Damn,
like
they might
that.
just be like, "Hey, man, just go back to Afghanistan for a year."
What if
Yeah.
what if a character witness was just a regular witness, but they wore one of those glasses with
the
nose?
mustache.
And they're like, "Okay, Mark, you've been a pretty good witness. Now can you be a character witness?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Meh, I think that he's a good guy. I know he robbed the bank, but he's a good person. He served our country.
Do you think you could get away with a bank robbery?
No,
No.
I
not
do.
a chance.
I think
Why
I
would
could.
you? What would your plan be?
Rob the bank?
No, but how would you get away with it?
Nice.
You're a fuck. See what I was talking about with like jack people being dumb?
I'm not jacked at all.
You were before.
Yeah, I
and it
used
made
to
you
be.
stupider.
Dude, I'm gonna start taking creatine again. I'm start eating right. I've lost like 30 pounds.
Are you
since I
gonna
met
get jacked?
Yeah,
Why?
because without a lady, like the thing is like having a lady ruins my discipline. Like having Ariel being like, "Hey, let's eat ice cream every day." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it."
But
Such
you
a funny
look
take to
fine.
blame your lady. It's such
Well,
a sick
I would
move.
never go. Yeah, I mean it is my fault. I don't
It's
have.
great to be like.
But I would never just.
It's my
be like,
blame women.
lady's fault.
I would never go to myself like without her. I would never go. Let's eat ice cream and let's not have like 210 grams of protein a day and like manage. But like being in a relationship, it truly does take away from because you have to do date things. You have to.
I'm
Like,
gonna no context just blame my wife for like.
yeah, dude.
The next time I think about going to the gym,
I
and
wasn't
just
fucking
end up-
it is
bald 2 years
Here's
ago.
the thing. It is my fault.
Start blaming
It
her
is
for
my fault, but
everything.
she definitely has an influence when she's like, "Let's go get ice cream," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude,
For sure,
that's
bro.
so
Well,
sick.
dude,
that sounds so nice."
when I got broken up with and moved in here, I've
Yeah, you
lost like 20 pounds because I can I'm being more active first off, but not that much more active. I go to the gym a little bit more, but what it is like I don't have a problem buying a rotisserie chicken and eating it for 3 meals in a row
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
rice
Exactly.
and
That's what I'm saying.
and
Exactly.
spicy mayo. But she would be like, "Matt, we can't have rice and beans and chicken every night." And be like, "I can.
I can.
Yeah,
I can
I
eat
definitely
I can eat pollo tropical
So,
4 days a week. I
have-
don't care."
Have you seen the thing where it's like girl dinner? Have you seen the thing where people are
Yeah,
making
yeah,
fun of
yeah,
that with
yeah.
boy
I
dinner?
hate the fucking girl dinner thing. I don't understand
Boy
it.
dinner is just being healthy. They're like, "Oh, it's rice and chicken."
I've
Oh,
seen
boy dinner.
some that are like
Yeah.
boy dinner, and it's just like a Budweiser and 2 Zins.
Yeah, I've
that's
seen
fine.
that. I saw.
I think I've made this point before, but it's like I love my wife. I don't want to divorce my wife, but divorce Jeff is the best version of Jeff.
Yeah,
it's like
'cause you'll
if
go off.
if she were to leave my life, it's like, oh, I'd get in such good shape. I would be
after
way
your
better.
6 month depression period, you got to give that
Brother,
a go.
The 3 months.
No, I think I'd
the
I think
3
I'd
months
push it.
before my lady moves out to Austin, I'm going like hard. It's gonna be a boot camp in that house, dude.
No, it's not.
I'm waking you up 7
I think
a.m.
it's time for me to go hard as the hood I'm from.
Do
I
not
don't
wake
know that
me
one.
up.
Yeah,
I'm waking up at
7
7 a.m. I'm gonna go lights. I'm gonna bang a
think
trash
it's time
can.
for me to
I'm gonna
go
fucking kiss you, Jim.
I'm gonna set up booby traps in my
I
room.
walk in a shotgun.
Because what my initial thought was, I'll fight you, but I don't want to fight you, and I don't know if at 7 a.m. I'll even have a chance.
I'm just gonna start.
Yeah,
Just like a
So-
paint can tied to a string, just home alone
Yes.
Josh every
Yeah.
time he's trying to better
He'll
you.
wake up. He'll think he's gonna wake me up, and a paint can will come and smack him in the face. It'll knock him back into a bed of tacks that I've laid
With a
pointy
dildo
side
that
up.
goes directly in
Yeah,
my ass
and then you
trick
fall,
me to be
no,
gay.
You fall on tacks. You're like, and you look up, and the dildo is falling off the ceiling
Into
into
my
your
mouth.
mouth.
Except this isn't like a silly New Line Cinema family movie. A paint can hitting Josh in the face would break his fucking nose.
Yeah.
You just be like,
Josh-
gotcha. Look who's not going to the gym. Josh be like, fucking
Josh's
nose.
forehead is gashed open from a full gallon paint can swinging full speed from the
He's
ceiling
just like,
into his
I
face.
just wanted to see if you wanted to go to the gym. You're like, that's what you get for trying to be good to me.
It's the first time, too. It's not even like he's been doing it every day. It's just the first time Josh tries to walk into my room, and I'm prepared for it to be 7 a.m. He walks in at 10:30.
Yeah.
A totally normal time to be like, hey, man, I'm going to go to the gym, and he just gets bombarded
Getting the shit kicked
by
out of me.
Home Alone traps. You fall back onto hot tar. You're like, how did I even fall back onto it? I would have had to walk through it. I'm like, don't worry about my secrets.
You know, what'd be a really good Home Alone reboot is Macaulay Culkin as a little kid setting up those booby traps for Michael Jackson. Because I think that the stakes are much higher. Because I feel like, if Joe Pesci gets you, didn't he just want to rob your house or something?
I have
I
a
don't
feeling
remember.
they have much more sinister.
But if Michael Jackson gets you, you're gonna need extra paint
Hey,
cans.
Michael Jackson never did anything to those boys.
You might,
Don't you
might
talk
just
about the
be,
fucking king
you
of
might
pop
just
like
live
that.
in fucking, what did he call it? Where he lived?
Neverland
Neverland
Ranch.
Ranch.
Neverland
Just
Ranch.
you might just get to go hang out with a millionaire every day.
Hey, Aaron Carter said that Michael Jackson never did anything to him.
Aaron Carter also deteriorated quick and died of a heroin overdose.
Aaron Carter's dead?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know Aaron Carter was dead? Bro, I watched
That's what you get for lying about beating Shaq one-on-one.
What?
That-
He
that's
said that
good.
he beat
That's good.
Jack one-on-one?
No, he has a song called
That's the time I beat Shaq.
yeah, I like the time I beat Shaq. It's like on his like first album from
Mhm.
I had that on CD.
You were a gay little kid.
Dude, I was a normal little kid. It was totally normal to like Aaron Carter back then.
You like would have a post and you
My-
kiss him
my
every night
phase-
before
dude,
bed.
I'm older than you.
My phase literally went from like it was like I was like a fan of like NSYNC and 98 Degrees and Backstreet Boys and Aaron Carter, and that was normal. And then my friend showed me the rap channel on the radio, and then I was an Eminem fan.
It's like Matt, black people. And you're like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Well,
I
yeah,
was-
and then I
I
became an
just-
Eminem fan. So I had a soft launch into rap. I started with Eminem.
We all kind of started.
It's
with
you got to
Eminem.
transition. You can't.
I
Yeah,
did.
I mean, you
The
know.
first
I'm gonna go from
two-
NSYNC to 50 Cent.
The first 2 CDs I ever bought, the first one, I got a boombox when I was in first grade, and the CD that I bought with my boombox was the Men in Black soundtrack, which was actually
Hilarious.
fire. And then the second CD that I got was Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause.
Yikes.
My
So-
first album that I ever bought was the Jay-Z Black album because my brother listened to it all the time, and
That's
so I
pretty
bought
sick.
it. And then my second was Blink-182's self-titled album.
I've definitely said this before, but
The one
mine's,
that this is from.
Yep.
That's the cover of that album.
is.
On there,
mine's
yeah.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Hilarious.
Awesome.
Such a sick.
It's such a, like you don't even understand the like significance of that album at the time. It's such a fucking
Yeah, you're like
classic album.
yeah.
You're just a kid
Yeah.
who likes when Into Club comes on the
Yes.
radio, and you go, "I'm
Dude.
gonna buy the CD for
Yeah.
that."
Imagine performing Many Men to an arena. Just being
Yeah.
50 Cent. That has to be like Many Men.
Dude,
Everybody-
the scene at the end of the movie Get Rich or Die Trying, when he goes out and he
Mhm.
fucking takes off the
vest,
bulletproof
dude.
vest.
Oh.
Ooh, 'cause it
Dude, you know what I
goosebumps,
really,
dude.
you know what I really love? I watch YouTube compilations of surprise guests at concerts. What a hype fucking thing!
Yeah,
There's
dude.
one of 50 Cent doing "Patiently Waiting," and then Eminem comes out, and it's like, let's fuck, dude. Eminem's weirdly the guy that people like. He's the surprise guest of surprise guests.
Yeah.
Like if you look up like surprise guests at concerts, there's so many with Eminem where he just like comes up from the floor at a Rihanna concert and everyone goes nuts. It's like,
Spaghetti, confetti. I'm
And then he
drinking out
sings-
of my Yeti.
and then he's, what's in it? Coffee. I'm eating toffee.
We can't,
Shut
dude.
up,
We
Yeti.
can't, dude.
I
We have-
killed my grandma,
we
fucked
have
her corpse, her name was Betty.
never once brought up Eminem without doing the exact bit that we're in right now.
Because he sucks, dude. He sucks.
No, but he doesn't. That's the
fell
thing. He
off,
doesn't,
dude.
and he,
He
didn't.
does now.
That's the
He
thing.
does now.
He didn't fall off though. And
Play
I'm not
his
even,
latest song right
Here's
now.
the thing: is I'm not an Eminem.
He
fan.
definitely fell off.
Dude,
And
play the
I
latest
haven't-
song.
I haven't been an Eminem
He
fan
definitely fell off
since
in a decade.
I haven't been an Eminem fan since. I mean, I literally don't remember the last time that I was just like, "This is great." I really
The
don't.
last album I remember liking was Relapse, which Relapse, which was like 09.
But like, I think Eminem is one of those guys who has such a historical significance in rap that like, yeah, like you might not like his new stuff now, but to say Eminem fell off,
he definitely fell off. How can you
is
not
to
say,
say
that he fell off?
he's like not famous anymore. He's not like relevant anymore. He's not good at rapping anymore.
But
like, I don't know.
falling off is relative. He was the biggest artist in music.
yeah,
He's
but
not
you,
anymore.
you can't stay. How many people stay the biggest artist in music?
Yeah,
for
because
their
people
entire
fall
career?
off.
Tom Brady stayed the GOAT the whole time he played.
But he
yeah,
wasn't
but
the best
how many
quarterback in
Tom
the
Brady's
league.
are there?
Hold on. But he wasn't the best quarterback in the league his last like probably 3 seasons. He was still good and he was easily considered the GOAT, but like his last season in the NFL, he was not the best
Well, there you
quarterback.
go. Same
in
point
the-
improvement, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, point
like
improvement, man.
just
Yeah, but
because
everybody
he
has
still
like,
But nobody would.
sells-
Yeah, but I
the
get what you're
rise
saying
and
because
fall,
you wouldn't go. Tom Brady fell off when he was playing at 44.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like
went to the Super
Eminem
Bowl
is
when
still
he was-
culturally relevant.
and won,
Nobody
but-
is taking away from. It's weird that I'm
But
even
he
sitting
fell,
here.
He fell off from where he was.
I disagree with the fall off thing. Ja Rule fell off.
But you're saying fall off as
You're
if like,
saying
it's
so
like a
are you
complete
going to sit
fall
here
from
and
grace.
saying that 50 Cent fell off?
He did.
That's a crazy take, though. That's a crazy.
The Floyd
take to
Mayweather
me.
thing really is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, but so that's the thing is like 50 Cent is
That's
so
great.
culturally relevant. He just doesn't make music as much as he used to anymore, right?
But his last
been
couple
acting.
his last couple of albums
Expendables.
were not as big as his first 2.
Of course, his last couple albums
That's a
weren't
fall
as big.
off.
But that then the argument you're making is that every musical artist, except for the people
They
who
do.
are literally the greatest of all time, fall off.
They all fall off. You have to fall off.
It's
You
just, I
can't-
guess it's just a weird term to say like every artist falls off unless
doesn't
you're
mean you
Prince,
Well,
Michael
your
Jackson,
definition of,
Taylor
of
Swift.
fall off is like you become like completely irrelevant and useless. But if you're Eminem is the highest selling artist in hip hop. If Eminem puts out an album this year, it won't be the highest selling album this year, which means he fell off. You can fall off from number 1 to like top 10. That's still falling off.
I think
LeBron
it's-
fell off. He's still the man. He's not the best player in the league
so
anymore.
this is where I have a problem with it, and I know we're getting close to an hour. So like, what more
End in
of
an
a good
argument?
way to end an
Follow the
argument?
Patreon for the final
I
part
think
of the argument.
falling off is like, I think what you're explaining is the very, very normal trajectory of somebody's career. Falling off is a thing where you fall from grace. You're at the top of your game and you fall off
I see
to
what you're
complete
saying.
irrelevance is what I think. I mean,
But
we're
to me-
arguing
to
different
me, if-
definitions
we're
of
just-
falling
this is
off.
semantics.
But like falling off from like number 1 to like still being one of the greatest to ever do it is like not falling off. It's just like how careers go.
Yeah.
You can't be number 1 forever. Tom Brady didn't fall off, I don't think.
He is number 1 forever, though.
He is number 1
But
he's
he-
the
but he
greatest quarterback
wasn't,
of all
though.
time, but he wasn't the best quarterback in the league his last
Exactly.
several seasons.
So like, but are you gonna, or would you say Tom Brady fell off?
Yes.
Okay, then you just have a different definition, which is what most of our arguments are. Is like you have a different definition of falling off, and I have a definition of falling off, and we're arguing different
If your first
ones.
3 albums are number 1, they go multi-times platinum. Your second album is the highest, or your third album is the highest selling album in hip
Camera's
hop
dead.
history. Oh. And then from then on, every album you put on after that is a slow decline from that. You're falling off. That doesn't mean he fell into irrelevancy or his albums don't sell well or whatever. But it's like if you're here, this is falling off. Going down is falling off. You can gradually fall off.
No, see,
and
I
you
think
can plateau
so
at a level where he's
here's
at
what
where
I
he still
think. If
makes a lot
we're
of money.
looking at now, I want to look at what like the words falling off means, right?
Let's
It doesn't
save
mean
this for the
it doesn't
Patreon
mean a
when the camera's
gradual decline. It means I fell off. If you fall off of a cliff, you don't slowly walk down the cliff. You fall off of it. Okay, we love you guys.
Go to
Thank you
the
for
Patreon,
listening.
Triple F
I feel like we should continue this conversation on the Patreon.
Patreon.com/triplefpod.
Bye.
Bye.